your drive?
It was good. The roundabouts, those are tricky.
Oh yeah, Carmel's kind of known for roundabouts. We have about 40 now.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. But I was gonna drive you around town anyway, so I'll show you how to drive them. But come inside and say hi to my family first.
Okay.
I wanted to bring you here first just to kind of give you an overall look and so I can show you before we actually drive the roundabouts, because I'm a kind of visual person, so I thought maybe I could just, you know, do a little introduction to the roundabouts and then we can drive some of them. If you've noticed, when the cars enter, they're angled. So there's not as many, you know, straight on T-bones. There may be some, you know, side swipes, but nothing as serious as a T-bone. And actually, at the intersections that roundabouts have been put in, accidents overall have reduced 40%, and accidents with injury have reduced about 80%.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know, which is really good because we don't want accidents with injury at all. And another thing that's nice about roundabouts is that since you're not sitting and stopping, your car's not idling, and there's not as many carbon emissions from your car just sitting there, which is really nice.
Right,
you know, I'm trying to be all eco-friendly and you know, go the green
the
way.
Environment.
So that's something that's really nice, is with this whole green revolution. And there's also more landscaping. You know, it's also prettier than a stoplight. You know, all those ugly poles and wires and stuff.
It's true. It's much more scenic. I see some walking paths too.
Yeah, it's really nice for the pedestrians and kids who want to ride their bike. You can get into different places in town a lot easier and a lot safer. Because you don't, I mean, really, you can see the paths. You don't deal with cars for very long at all. See how multiple cars can be going around at one time? That's really nice, because you just saw 5 cars go through a roundabout very, very quickly and smoothly. And can you imagine if that were like a 4-way stop? That would be really backed up. And they still probably wouldn't have gotten through, and here come more cars that probably still wouldn't get through. And you'd be sitting there like idling, like I said. And the nice thing about that right turn spot right there is they don't have to deal with the roundabout at all. There's a median you can see as those cars just showed you. That's really nice, because if you just want to turn right and you don't want to have to enter the roundabout at all, you just, you know, take that little path, and it saves a lot of trouble. The really important thing as well, when you're coming up to a roundabout, you know, before you've entered, we've talked a lot about in the roundabout and entering the roundabout, but before you even, you know, get close to the entrance, you really need to pay attention to the signage and the markings on the pavement, like the arrows, you know, the painted arrows showing you which lane to be in, so you can go the direction you want to, because you're not supposed to change lanes once you're in the roundabout. See, this person's in the right-hand lane and they have to stay in that right-hand lane, and it shows you, the lines show you that you have to get off going right or going straight.
I could see the arrow marks on the road over there.
Yeah, it's really nice to show you.
So let me get this straight. You yield to the cars already in the roundabout.
Yes.
You pick which lane you would like to go in. So in this case, if you would like to turn right or go straight, you will remain in the right-hand lane.
Yes.
And if you would like to make a left, you will stay in the left lane.
Correct.
I think I got it.
So you want to go drive some roundabouts?
Let's go.
Okay. So Jill, you see we're coming up to one of those roundabouts. These are actually some of the newer roundabouts. They just finished this a couple months ago. And see that sign right there? It shows you the arrows, which way to go. So I want to go straight, so I'm going to get in this lane.
Okay.
And if I wanted to turn, though, and go on Keystone, I would have to be in that lane. And I have to make sure there's no cars coming, because I don't want to get hit, and you're supposed to yield to traffic in the roundabout. So that's kind of why I slowed down there. And then you kind of got to go slow around these. These are more of an hourglass shape than our other roundabouts, so they're a little bit trickier, but I mean, it's still the same concept. And then I just follow it off, and then I turn. So Jill, you know we're coming up to a roundabout because there's our roundabout sign. So this one is different than the Keystone roundabouts and the one-lane roundabouts, because it's got 2 lanes coming in and 2 lanes going out most of the exits. The exit I'm going to show you is a little tricky, because It's a 1-lane exit. It goes from 2 lanes to 1 lane. So I gotta stay in my lane all the way until I exit. And then I have to make sure I look over my shoulder and then exit. And there's no cars coming. The reason I can change lanes in that and go from 2 lanes to 1 lane is because it's a dotted line. And you're not supposed to change lanes in the roundabout, but when you're exiting, you can go over a dotted line. Whereas if it's a striped line, you know, you really need to stay in your lane. So you think you're ready?
I think I can handle it.
Okay, let's go try.
Let's give it a try.
Here's
a shot. Of course, with my luck, it's raining once I finally get to take the wheel.
Oh, you know how Indiana is, though. I mean, the weather is never the same.
All right, well, I see that this is a 1-lane roundabout, so
Yes.
slow down. I yield to the cars coming from my left.
Yes.
I can keep going. All right, well,
Perfect.
those 1-lane roundabouts seem pretty easy.
Oh, easy, huh? Well, let's go try some 2-lane roundabouts. You know that mall I've been telling you about, Clay Terrace? Let's go. They've got some multi-lane roundabouts that we can try. So just keep going straight.
Okay, let's try that. Okay, so now I see we'll be approaching a 2-lane roundabout,
Yes.
and I could be in either lane if I want to go straight, but I will
Yes.
stay in the right lane.
Yeah. Some roundabouts you have to be in a certain lane, but this one you can be in the right lane.
Okay. I'll yield to the other cars. No one's coming, so I have the okay to go.
Perfect. And it's really important to yield, especially in Carmel, because you can get a ticket if you don't yield to the people in the roundabout. You just cut in front of them. Yay, that was really good.
Thank you. I think I handled that pretty well.
Master the 2-lane roundabout.
Yeah, I think I can do it now. So I know earlier you asked if I had any questions, but now that I think about it after practicing those roundabouts, what happens when an emergency vehicle comes?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
Because I know on the main road, you're supposed to pull over to the right and get onto a shoulder if you can, but in a roundabout, you don't have that option.
That's correct. There's really no shoulder in a roundabout, or there's not really enough room to just pull over. So let's go to the fire department and ask Bruce Knott, who can probably give us some answers.
Okay.
Melanie, how are you?
Hi, Bruce. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Who's your friend?
This is Jill. She's from New Jersey.
Hi, Jill. Nice to meet you, too.
And we were kind of taking her around town and going shopping and stuff, and I took her through some roundabouts, and we had a few questions for you.
Well, good. Roundabouts are neat. Everybody in Carmel is really getting used to them. They've made traffic flow a lot better, but obviously there's still some questions.
Yes, with emergency vehicles. So
Sure.
we thought we'd come to you. What do you do when you're at a roundabout and you hear a siren? Do you keep going, or do you just stop, or?
Pretty good question. Since some of our roundabouts are 2-lane and some of them are only 1 lane, there's a good question. There's kind of a general rule to look at. If you're already in the roundabout, if you can continue to move forward, maybe get off at the next available exit and get out of the way as soon as safely possible, that would be great. If you're in the inner lane of like a 2-lane roundabout, you're allowed to go all the way around. And so you could just go around past your exit. The fire vehicle is going to come up, they'll take their exit, and then you just continue on around. That way you still get the exit that you want. And that would work well for just about everybody, as long as you can continue to go all the way around safely.
Okay, well, that leads me to another question. The other day we were actually at a roundabout, and we were waiting our turn. We were yielding to the cars in the roundabout, so we were already stopped, and an ambulance came up behind us, and I didn't know what to do, and I just kind of, moved around and got out of its way, which was good.
Sure.
But what would happen if you couldn't?
A lot of times, if we're stopped at intersections, that can be one of our biggest problems, especially narrow intersections where the trucks don't have anywhere to go around you. If that's the case, and they can't go around on the left or the right because there's no room, the best thing to do then is go ahead and enter the intersection when it's safe. Hopefully the other cars have yielded by then. You can go on and use the same rule we just talked about. Either get off at the first available exit, get out of the way of the fire vehicle as soon as safely possible, or continue on around, and then they'll go and they'll get off on their exit, and then you can get off on your exit as you go around the second time. So either one of those would be good. One of the things we really want people to avoid is doing things that are erratic. If you're listening to your radio or you're just not paying attention, all of a sudden you see the trucks, you see the lights, or you hear the siren, and all of a sudden you do something kind of crazy, like maybe you jerk to the right, which we know a lot of people should pull over to the right if they can, or you slam on your brakes not knowing what to do. The other cars around you may not be paying 100% attention and not realize what's going on. The best thing to do if possible is to maintain control, slowly move over to the right if you can, and the trucks want to go around on the left side. They can't always do that, but that's what they want to do. If you're on a narrow road and you can't move over, the best thing to do is slow down to a stop, not abruptly because the other cars behind you may not be paying attention, but slow down to a stop. The trucks are going to go around on the left and everybody should be able to resume at that time. Some of the things that are really confusing is if we have multiple intersections where we have a lot of different lanes and everybody stopped at one time. Now what do we do? Here come the fire trucks, everybody stopped, what should we do? If there's a clear lane on the left or a clear lane on the right, maybe a breakdown lane or something, and everybody stopped, the trucks are going to take one of those lanes.
Okay.
And that's why they slow down. They have all their lights and sirens so everybody knows what they're doing. It would be best just to stay where you are at that point. If all the lanes are packed and there's no place to go around anybody, the trucks are going to want to go through on the left, if at all possible. So that would be great for everybody to move over to the right. And if you have the red light, you really have to make sure that the traffic in the intersection knows what's going on. So you don't want to jar out into the intersection and cause any kind of problems. You'd want to slowly move over to the right, make sure that the people all through the intersection see that the fire truck's coming, and then you can safely move over, and that's something to really consider. The roundabout question is pretty neat though, and that is something that we're not used to, is what to do if you were to stop while you're in the intersection and the fire trucks are coming. They can't get around you.
Right.
Some of them they can, but a lot of them are one lane, and so they can't get around you. So again, the best thing to do would be to take the first exit if you can, and then get out of the way as soon as safely possible in case that's also the exit that the fire trucks want to go on. Or if it's okay, just go on around, let the fire trucks take their exit, and then you can take yours and you didn't miss your exit.
Okay, thanks so much, Bruce.
The roundabout question is pretty good, and it's neat to see young drivers like you guys that interested in what to do and what to do right. So we appreciate it. Everybody's still getting used to the roundabouts. We're doing a good job, but having you guys think ahead of like that is great. So hopefully people will be able to catch on to what to do in emergencies.
Yeah, we just want to be safe and know what to do.
And you guys are doing great.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. See you guys later. Have a good summer.
See ya. So what do you think?
Well, now I know how to use the roundabout in all situations, and I feel more comfortable if an emergency vehicle were to come by.
Good. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Let's go eat.
Sounds good.